And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Mirabella Mindset. So, today, I'm going head to head with ChatGPT. You know I love ChatGPT. And you know I love the content it gives me. It helps me in every area of my life. But I ChatGPT'd what are the 10 things I need to do as a salon owner. And I'm going to unpack the 10 things that it told me to do. And whether I agree or I disagree, we're going to find out right now. All right, so the first thing it told me to do is create a business plan. I agree somewhat, but here's the deal with a lot of people when they create a business plan. They don't create the businessman or woman, whatever you're into, right? And when you have this business plan, you draw out like your mission statement, your target market, your services, your pricing strategy, financial projections, and it's this whole big elaborate plan to start your salon or your barbershop. But unfortunately, you're writing this plan, you're creating the business plan, you got all the things in it, but you don't have the skills to execute them. So it's important that before you do the business plan, you build the businessman. So right there, I kind of disagree with the strategy ChatGPT is telling me right now. The business plan is somewhat important, but in all honesty, any entrepreneur or any person who owns a salon who's watching right now could tell you your business plan that you laid out so perfectly usually never goes according to plan. However, if you build the skills and the leadership, the intestinal fortitude, the mindset, everything that's required of you to be a successful business owner and entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what your plan is. It doesn't matter what happens to your plan. You're going to rise above it and you're going to be successful anyway. So to me, number one in ChatGPT, create the business plan should be replaced with create the businessman. Next, select the prime location. ChatGPT is telling me to choose a location with high foot traffic, good visibility, and accessibility. Consider demographics, competition to ensure your salon meets all the needs of the target market. Now, I'm going to disagree with this one again. I'm a big believer in choosing a safe location first and foremost. Like I'm not saying open up a sick location in the hood and you have to worry about getting shot at. Like get that out of the way. But your prime location isn't really necessary anymore. With the introduction of maps and Waze and Instagram and TikTok, people find you without walking down the street. So to pay all this money for a prime location on a main street isn't necessary anymore. What's more important is your marketing and your attention that you get and that you gather throughout your social media. Here's my model that I use for all of my locations. I look for an amazing location that's convenient. And when I say convenient, I want easy parking. I want easy accessibility. So if you could find my location on any maps, it's great. Now, I don't need to be on the main street. I have a friend of mine who has a salon. It is like $10,000 a month. It's on a great street. The parking sucks though. Got a lot of visibility, a lot of walk around traffic. But how many times do people walk around the streets being, oh shit, I need a color? Very rare does that happen. It might, cause people to see your salon and maybe book an appointment later, but still the social media. So for me, what I like to do for a location is I find a location that might be, a little off the beaten path, which usually gives you better parking because there's not as many people going there. It's easily accessible. Like you don't have to drive like 20 miles in the middle of nowhere to find it, right? It's got highway visibility, meaning like for my main location, I have 3 major highways that you can get to my location relatively easy. My rent is a fraction of what my friend pays for rent. So when I first opened my location here, I was paying $1,750 a month for 2,200 square feet. Now, the next town over is one of the wealthiest towns in New Jersey. So it's not to say that this is a easily affordable rental area. It's just the location I picked has easily affordable rent for me. Whereas he's paying $10,000 a month. Here's the secret to this. I now have, let's say I'm paying $2,000 a month in rent. I have $8,000 a month I could dedicate towards marketing. I can get more eyeballs on my social media and my ads and my Google and my blogs and everything else that I have going on to market my salon. Once I fill my chairs and every stylist is fully booked, guess what I do? I don't market as much and I go off word of mouth and referrals and reviews. Guess what he can't do? he can't lower his rent payment or his mortgage payment or whatever he's paying every month. Like he's stuck at that 10,000. Whereas me, I now can scale back to maybe 5 or 4. I could just completely go organic and go strictly word of mouth and reviews and with a cool referral program, and my rent's still only $2,000 a month. So selecting a prime location, I don't agree with that one. All right, ChatGPT, what do you got next? Obtain the necessary licenses and permits. All right, so if you're going to be a licensed salon, then it's important that you get your state board license and everything else you need for to do business in your town and your community, whatever those are. I don't disagree with that. My business model, I'm a private membership association. So because we function in the private, I don't serve the public, I didn't need any of these licenses or permits. So that I agree with that one, but I didn't have to do that one. Design and set up the salon. Create an inviting and functional salon layout. Invest in quality equipment, furniture, and decor that align with your brand and create a comfortable environment for clients. Cool. I kind of agree with this one, but I want to jump ahead. You should think about the structure of your business first. I talk about the structure I got from a guy named Ed Collins. It's your trust, your holding company, and then your LLC. And any salon owner or business owner can tell you right now, it's very expensive to own a salon, and you want to really maximize the amount of expenses that you have. When you buy salon equipment, you could only depreciate it like 3 or 4% every year. Here's the fun thing. If you buy your salon equipment and you buy it in another LLC's name that may be in a different state than yours, like Delaware or Wyoming, there's no state income tax there, and there's a lot of anonymity in Wyoming, so it's a really safe place to have an LLC to protect your assets. I'm not just talking tax, the lower your tax liability. I'm talking also asset protection. So let's say that LLC owns all your salon equipment and then leases it to the salon. That way you can write off that lease payment every single month. So I want you guys to think about that first when you're opening a salon. How are you going to structure your entities? How are you going to structure your LLCs? How are you going to structure all these different things, these moving parts of running a business efficiently? So if you're buying a building, you should never buy the building in the same company that you have your salon in, because if somebody were to fall and they get hurt in your salon or something happens, when they sue you, that's an asset the salon owns. So you have to make sure you limit your risk. And limiting your risk means you can get everything out of your salon's name, the operating company, and you could put the equipment, the building, everything else in different LLC's names, so you're protected. God forbid you get sued or something happens. So I would do that before design and set up of the salon. Then I would buy the equipment, and then I would design my salon. Now, if you're designing a salon and you have been in the industry for a long time, you kind of know the functionality of like the ins and outs of where your shampoo bowls should be, how you should maximize your retail space and all of that. But you haven't been a consumer for that long. If you own a salon or you're in the industry, you pretty much go to your salon only. So a good idea for you to do is check out some other salons and how they function. And this way you have some different perspectives on how you can really maximize your space. So if you're only going off of your experience of what you did in your salons previous, I would urge you to check out other salons, how they're set up, because there might be some cool adaptations that would really work well for the space that you have. Do not hire someone as an interior decorator for your salon. Hire someone who's specifically working with salons, because you're going to hire someone to help you decorate and build a beautiful salon, but they don't know salons and the flow. You're going to be stuck with a salon that's inoperable, and you're going to be very upset when everything's bolted down and you don't like the flow of the salon. So truly think about what's going to happen when you have a full staff and you're really busy. What happens when the water breaks? What happens when this happens? What happens when you throw an event there? Like, think of everything. So before you design a salon, check out some other salons. Hire someone who specifically works with salons only when you go to create your salon environment. And make sure you set up your entity so you have something else owning the equipment. That way, if anything ever happens, you don't own anything. And if they sue you, they don't get anything. So keep that in mind. Number 5, hire and train staff. All right, so number 5 is important. I'm not saying you shouldn't hire and train a staff. I think if you're going to open a salon, you should start creating your employee handbooks or standard operating procedures from before you even start thinking about a lease. You should have created the leadership skills and the business acumen and how you want your salon standards to be, and you should be doing that yourself. So I teach something called the camcorder method. So your staff should be trained by you. If you can't do that, then you have to hire an outside company to help train your staff and create your handbooks and stuff like that. But when you're obviously you're doing hair, if you're thinking about owning a salon, you should be creating your standard operating procedures now. Use video content, film yourself doing the thing, then you voice over that video, you extract that transcript, you upload that to ChatGPT, and then you have that create you the handbook based on what you're explaining in the video. So now you have video content, and then you have written content to help train your staff. And you're going to start doing that from literally from now until you're ready to open. So when you start bringing on team, you're hitting the ground running. You should have a team in mind, or at least a team ready to go when you open the door. This way you're not working by yourself. Because I have low rent, I was able to work in my salon by myself and hire an assistant, and I got the bills paid. So before you start bringing on a crazy team and a manager and a front desk and everything else, the first hire you need, if you're a stylist and you're doing hair, is an assistant. Now, an assistant can work twofold. She can work the front desk, or he can work the front desk and help you take clients down. So if you're going to be like a solo stylist and you're in like a 4 or 5 chair salon and you don't have a team yet, the first person you hire is a personal assistant who helps you with clients, helps you with the front desk, and helps you all around in the salon. Then you build that person to be your VP, your right-hand man, everything that you need to do. So you start bringing on a team, you have a person in there who you can count on and who has your standards. Now, core values is super important. So before you hire staff and you have a team, you need to identify what are the standards your salon has, what are the core values your salon stands for. So that way, as you're bringing on a team, you can articulate that to the new team and make sure they align with the core values of your salon. And if you don't do that, then you're gonna have a team that has different values, and you won't be able to get everybody in the same boat rowing in the same direction. So it's super important you figure out your core values first, and you have some kind of a training manual ready to go, which you can always evolve and add to as time goes on. But having those two things done first before you hire the staff and train them makes things a lot easier for you. Develop a marketing strategy. Build your brand through a website, social media, and local advertising. Offer promotions, discounts to attract new clients, and encourage word-of-mouth referrals. All right. I'm not big on discounts. So it tells you to offer promotions and discounts. I don't necessarily agree with that. Before you open a salon, you should have a full book. You should have a full business, especially if you're doing hair behind the chair already. If you start offering discounts, people are going to always expect discounts. If you do the Groupons, you only get people who are looking for discounts and not value. So you should be having a full clientele before you open a salon. Your brand, your personal brand, is what you're going to take with you in every area of business. So it's your personal brand that's going to build a salon's brand. So you need to make sure your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, your social media, your brand around the community is solid. This way, when you do the call to action, like, hey, I'm looking for a team, it triggers a response and you start getting stylists to work for you. When you're like, hey, I have a new stylist looking for models, you get people in the door to be their client or model. And it's important that your marketing strategy is more of a personal branding strategy at first, because you are the brand of the salon. And then as you bring on new hires and stylists, you start building a culture. So yeah, it's important to have a marketing strategy, but you don't really have the budget yet for a marketing strategy. But you do have a budget to brand yourself and set the standard for your salon. So your marketing strategy is going to be completely reflective and mirror your personal brand strategy. And then as you grow a team, it's the team that will build the rest of the marketing strategy for the salon. So really get your branding, your personal branding, clear and concise, and get your messaging down for what kind of clientele you want to attract into the salon. Next up is going to be set up an appointment and management system. All right. I would probably move this to the forefront up on the list. Your booking software is going to be the backbone of your salon. It's going to hold a lot of your email marketing. It's going to be a lot of the client relationships, right? Where your CRM almost, the notes, the birthdays of clients, all the crucial information's in your booking software, your online booking. If you don't have a system that works well with you, you're going to bring on a booking software and it's not going to work. You're going to make changes. I did this already. I tried so many booking softwares in the middle of my salon growth, and it was a headache. What I would advise you to do, even if you're working at another salon, I would do the free trials and I would get my booking software trial run in way before number 7. Like, you want to open the doors with a really good booking software. So they usually give a 14-day trial, and I want you to learn how to export your clientele in a CSV. And if you don't know how to do that, Google it. Go to YouTube, figure out what a CSV file is. It's like an Excel file. Learn how to extract clientele and how to reorganize CSV files. And if not, hire a virtual assistant to do it for you. So that way you can move clients from booking software to booking software relatively easily, and you're not paying a lot of money to have someone do that for you. Like, I think some of the brands charge you like $800 or $500 to transfer your clients over. It's literally an export and an import. It's not hard to do. So if you know how to do that, it won't take a lot of money. Learn the language of technology, so it's easy for you to move from booking software to booking software if you don't like the current one you have. I would advise you to, when you start thinking of opening a salon, the booking software is the most important thing. Start figure out which one you want to use, figure out how it works, figure out the email system, figure everything out. Then, remember the camcorder method I just talked about. You're going to record yourself doing your training with the company. They're going to teach you how to use the software. You're going to record that. You're going to record everything you do with that company. You're going to save those recordings for your front desk person. You're going to have that person watch it. Unless your front desk person is already here, more than likely they're not going to be part of your team yet. So you save all that training, all the questions you had, and the how-tos so that person can watch it. It's just so simple because you're going to have all the questions that you have pertaining to your salon and your culture already figured out with the main person from that company, so you don't have to repeat that conversation or try and book another call. You always have that saved somewhere for that front desk person. Now, establishing financial systems. Accounting, bookkeeping, that's huge. That's important. Again, you're going to want to have this done like ahead of time. You're going to want to have some kind of financial acumen. You're going to want to have like some kind of a bookkeeper, someone managing your funds. This is something I didn't do in the beginning. Like, I literally just hit the ground running, and then I opened up, 2, 3, 4 salons. Now I had 5 salons. I had 2 e-commerce stores. My money was being, dumped into one company to fund another company. Money was being used from this salon to fund that salon. And it was a accounting, bookkeeping nightmare. So what I want you to do is go to Upwork, hire an accountant, find somebody who knows the language of money, knows the language of accounting, get on a phone call with them. I don't care if they're $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour, whatever you can afford. Hire them for an hour or two so they can give you the high level strategy of really maximizing your bookkeeping and your finances. This way, you know the language of money. You understand how to pass this on to an accountant to make your bookkeeping seamless. If I would do it all over again, this is what I would do. I would learn the language of money first. I would hire somebody to teach me about bookkeeping and finances. So when I pass it off to somebody, like an accountant, I know it's being handled properly because I speak the same language as them. And this way, if your accountant leaves, retires, quits, or you just don't like them, you can move to somebody else. Here's a tip for you when it comes to accountants and lawyers, specifically accountants. You never ask your accountant if I can do this. Is this possible? No. You ask them, how do I do this? How do I write off my equipment? How do I get more deductions? How? Not if. Because if you ask them if this is possible, they're going to say no because they're lazy. And if you're an accountant watching this, I'm sorry, but you don't want to do more work than you really have to, even if it means saving your clients money. So you're going to probably push them to the side of, oh, no, it's not possible. It's too hard. No, you want to ask your accountant, how do I make this happen? How do I make this possible? And what's my strategy for me to maximize my deductions? And if you can write off your equipment $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every month, lowering your tax liability in that state, taking those assets out of your business name so if you get sued, they don't get that equipment, that's a win-win for you. So ask your accountant, how do I do this? All right, focus on the customer experience. Guys, customer experience is premier. Yes, draft out in your handbook what you want your customers to feel? The feeling your customers have. The experience is great, but you want to really drive home the feeling your customers get when they make an appointment. How is the booking software? Is it seamless? How do they get greeted? How do they feel? How do they feel when they're calling to make an appointment? Are they feeling like this is a great salon for them? How do they feel when they see your social media? The customer experience goes beyond the salon walls. It goes from your email marketing to the booking the appointment to the text message they get. It goes, how do they feel when they're paying? Like, are they able to tap and pay? Are they able to pay with their phone? Do you have Apple Pay? How is the customer experience? Like, think about how it feels to be a client. Are they excited to pay? Like, do they leave your salon amped up? Like, when you buy a new car, whether you're leasing it or buying it, you're excited. Like, the feeling you have when you drive off the lot typically is ecstatic. You're excited. You feel good. How do your clients feel when they pay for a highlight? How do they feel when they pay for extensions? That's what you want. You want to really focus on the feeling and pair that with the experience. So I do agree with focus on customer experience, but you want to really focus on the customer feeling. You want to invoke a feeling from them for the whole experience. Number 10, implement safety and sanitation protocols. You don't want a dirty salon. You don't want a salon that's unsafe. You want to make sure that the floor you have in the salon isn't going to make people slip or fall. God forbid they walk in with wet shoes on because it's raining outside. So do you have a rug in the front? Like, sometimes things look really nice, like certain flooring, but it's not really good for your stylist to stand on all day. It's not safe for them to walk on because it's very slippery, and it's not safe for clients to walk on. So pay attention to like the safety and what you put in the salon, because a lot of times it might look really nice, but it may not be safe. And obviously sanitation, you don't want a dirty salon, and you want to make sure you maintain a level of cleanliness. But here's the thing a lot of people don't think of. You're obviously cutting hair in your salon. Where's the hair going to go? Like, do you have a vacuum? I use an eye vac, so I sweep the hair into it. Like, where is that going to go? Where do your outlets go? So think about how you're setting up the salon to make it, easy to clean, in addition to get rid of the hair so no one's slipping on it, no one's falling on it. So these are the 10 things that came up in a basic ChatGPT search. What are the 10 things I need to do as a salon owner? And this is through my 25 plus years of doing hair and my 15 or so years of being an owner, what I think of them, and what I would change in them. So if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I would love to answer them. If you're watching this live on Instagram right now, make sure you head to the YouTube channel next time to make sure you, we're good, James? Make sure you head to the YouTube channel. Yeah, make sure you head to the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, head to the YouTube channel. It's at nickmirabella.com. I'm sorry, it's nickmirabella.com. I got a link for it right at my personal website. And let's jump into some Q&A here on Instagram. Guys, how many are you thinking about opening a salon? How many of you guys have questions about opening a salon? How many of you guys own a salon right now and got some information and it was the wrong information? I can't stress number one, right? You have to create the business man before you create the business plan. Because if you don't have the skills to deliver on the plan, you're never going to be successful. So it's so important that you get the skills of leadership. You have the positive habits. You have the ability to communicate properly. You have the business acumen. You have the finances down, right? A business person understands business. You guys got to understand, you're not an artist anymore. When you make that leap from being an owner, from being a hairstylist to an artist, that's an artist to an owner, that's it. Like, you made the leap. You're ready to play in the big league now. Are you ready to take that leap? Do you have the language of business? Do you understand how to carry a conversation on with an accountant, with a marketing agency? Like, do you have the ability to have the hard conversation with a team member when they come in and they're killing it and they have a drug problem and they show up to your salon high? Or when there's a death in the family of one of your stylists and it's a very close family member. How do you deal with that conversation? Are you ready for those conversations? Are you ready for a team to look up for you when the shit hits the fan and you have to take the role of leader now? It's very easy to be a stylist in a salon, right? When you have a team of 10, even 5 people who depend on you to put food on the table, are you going to be able to show up for them? These are the conversations you need to have with yourself before you make this leap. And that's what I mean by you have to build the business man before you build the business plan. Because throughout my journey of owning salons and businesses that failed, I developed a skill set that I can take into any business with me. And you need to know where you are, like where you are now to where you want to go. And I say this all the time. It's the transformation you that happens to you on that journey. It's the skills you develop to get to here. That's important. So you have to make sure that you develop leadership, business acumen, positive habits. And if you're not ready to own a salon yet, it's not the end of the world. Maybe you need 2 more years, right? Take your time. I understand that you may have gotten a fight with your boss. You don't like the commission structure you're in right now. But here's something you have to understand. When you open up your salon, you don't keep all the money. I can't tell you how many times I talked to a suite renter and they left because they were getting 50-50 commission. And now they're stuck with $450 a week or $550 a week rent every single week. And they're back to like 60%, maybe more. They're working harder than they ever have, making the same amount of money. Who's going to answer the phone for you? Who's going to take your shampoo? Who's going to take your color down for you? Who's going to do the shampoos? Who's going to clean the suite for you? So before you make that jump, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Before you open a salon, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. When you sign a lease, are you signing a lease in your name personally, or are you signing the lease in an LLC name? So when you sign a lease, do you have another LLC that just signs contracts for you, right? That's called a sacrificial pawn by Ed Collins. So if, God forbid, something happens to the salon, you can back out of the agreement and you're not liable personally. You're not a personal guarantee on that. So you have to understand business is it's a sport. It's a game. If you play an infinite game in business, there's no winners, there's no losers. If you play it long enough, you will eventually get to your goals. So don't think you're going to win or you're going to lose. It's an infinite game. The people who are playing business like it's a finite game, like you have competition, there's a winner and a loser. So don't play that game. Play the infinite game, and the only person you're playing against is who you were yesterday. If you have that mindset going into business, you're going to do just fine. So thanks, guys, for watching. If you want to learn more about business, how to build a salon, how to really develop leadership skills to take your team to the next level, DM me, Grow. I'd love to get into a conversation with you and help you take your things to the next level, whether it's your barbershop, your salon, your makeup company, your makeup business, your eyelash business. It doesn't even matter. It's all the same. Business is business. In our industry, we have a very unique business where you can make money with services, make money with products, and make money with knowledge. Not every business is like that. So DM me the word GROW, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program. You guys are amazing. I will see you tomorrow at 12. Goodbye.